Diamond Select has done it. If you think only movies can get reimagined, you're wrong, because this 68th series of Minimates is a reboot. But don't worry, the meat on this year's Marvel Minimate sandwich is delicious. The Civil War and Doctor Strange series are the bread in that analogy. This second genesis of comic book Minimates are based off the giant-size X-Men comic released in 1975 and updated from the Minimates 6-pack release in 2004. These all-new, all-different X-Men Minimates have been given more detailed uniforms, alternate looks, more accessories, and have been released into 4 2-packs. This series includes Storm with Sunfire, Cyclops and Banshee, Colossus with Nightcrawler, and Wolverine with Thunderbird. The full color orange and black window box packaging doesn't offer a lot in the way of artistic design. The giant size X-Men logo is on the top left. The figures are showcased inside, and the codenames and pictures are at the bottom. The same illustration is on the side with the codename. Look how I displayed them here. I know who occupies 50% of each of these boxes. The back shows the series in its entirety, and some real generic bios at the bottom remind us that each of these characters are from a different country. No more white bread for these X-Men. These guys and gal are getting diverse when we get them out of the box. Thinking herself a goddess, this descendant of African priestesses has the ability to control the weather. Finding out from Professor X that she is not a goddess but a mutant, Aurora Monroe took on the responsibility of helping the world by joining the X-Men and taking on the codename Storm. This Storm figure has everything a lover of Storm action figures could want. She has 2 alternate looks, one with a stern facial expression with normal eyes and a hanging cape. The other is an intense facial expression with white eyes and a fully extended cape. She also comes with lightning effects that can go on her hands and a single-foot flying stand. The paint around her headdress, jewel, and cape is a bit blotchy, but whatever. I am also liking the white illustrated details on her uniform to give it a glossy, leathery effect. The back of this hanging cape has a cutout in the middle, making it nicer than the older version. This Japanese son of a mother who survived the nuclear blast on Hiroshima, Sunfire, has the ability to fly and can generate superheated plasma. He also has trouble with taking orders, which is why his stint on the X-Men was short-lived. His Minimates figure comes with an awesome sculpted mask. His mask design was rumored to have inspired the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern mask. Any customizers out there want to take a crack? He also comes with some plasma fire, a fiery colored 1-foot flight stand. Without the mask, he has an intense facial expression with a sweet hairdo. More action figures need sweet hairdos. Everybody's favorite teleporting mutant. Nightcrawler's updated Minimate look is awesome. This costume is very similar to his original release, but the illustrated detail on his chest gives him a more 3-dimensional look. I love the tailpiece at the waist. He also comes with 2 heads, 1 angry face and 1 grinning face, a teleporting effect for a base, and his rapier sword. His hairpiece is also very enjoyable. The people's hero, Colossus. This guy is my favorite. He's the type of character that would run into a falling building to save you even if he knew you hated him. He's the type of character that would come rescue you even though you just punched him in the crotch. The guy is awesome, and his Minimate is no exception. The black and white illustrated detail around his face and body, along with the removable molded costume piece, gives the character notable depth. His hair is solid black, as we've seen with most Colossus figures in the past. He also comes with 2 molded red bracers, and his boots extend past his knees. He does not come with an extender piece at his waist to give him more height than the other X-Men. I do like how only his costume is removable, and they didn't just make it one big piece that covers his upper body. I felt like this older version looked like he was wearing a skirt. I miss the extension piece, and I like the gauntlets on the older version, so I will make my custom version using parts from both. This version of Thunderbird is John Proudstar, not to be confused by his brother James. The creative team on X-Men wanted a new character that would wash out of Xavier's School for the Gifted, but they ended up liking Thunderbird's design so much that they ended up keeping him around a little longer than intended, and then killed him off. Thunderbird's Minimate looks amazing and captures the vibrancy that was held by the character. The shading around his chest and legs makes this figure look like he was taken right out of the comic. He doesn't come with much, he just has sculpted tassels around his biceps and sculpted boots. The red paint around his headband is a little sloppy, but he comes in a pack with Wolverine, so it's not like he's a pass. You're gonna get him. It's Wolverine, enough said. Actually, this latest release is really well done. The illustrated shading on his mask and lines on his chest and his legs gives him a distinguishable comic book tone. The faults come in the way of paint detail around the claws on his hands. He comes with an added hairpiece and his claws are rigid and separated, the way Wolverine claws should be. He has something weird going on with his boots. The front of his foot piece creates a gap, making the legs look a little odd. Speaking of odd, Cyclops was still on the team when the new recruits came aboard. His Minimate looks awesome. He is rocking the team colors of blue and yellow, and this updated Cyclops has illustrated shading on his chest, legs, and back that adds a lot of depth to this figure. He comes with a headpiece and visor that has some shading effects, but the paint is blotchy. He also comes with an awkward hairpiece that gives him a hat head look like he just took off his cap. That's good attention to detail. You wouldn't believe that he would have some illustrious full body hairdo after running around in this thing all day. His alternative look is an open-eyed, shocked face. Banshee, the loud Irishman, looks great in Minimate form. Unless Hasbro makes a giant-sized X-Men pack of Marvel Legends that will most likely cost around $120, I don't see how a Banshee figure would get released. That makes me extra happy to have this figure, and it doesn't disappoint. He comes with two heads, a screaming face and a smiling face, screaming effect, a two-footed flight stand, two variations on his cape, one that hangs around his neck, and two for his wrist, and a molded collar that looks awesome but pushes up on his hairpiece. All of his accessories makes this figure multifaceted and a great update. The quality on these figures are varying. As a whole set, these figures are solid. I took these figures out of the package, posed them, switched out their parts, and nothing broke on any of these figures. That being said, these figures are not without their flaws. There are some paint issues. Colorful characters mean a lot of paint, and on some of these characters the paint will rub off. The paint will also come off with the removal of the tape on the extra heads, so be extremely careful and slow when removing these figures from the package. There are also a lot of joint issues. The feet on these figures do not stay in their sockets. It is frustrating when posing these figures and the foot pops out of joint. I wish they would lock into place. All of these X-Men might have special abilities, but the articulation on these Minimates is all the same. All 14 points consist of a ball and socket joint at the neck, ball and socket joints at the shoulders and hips, hinge joints at the elbows and knees, a peg and socket joint at the waist, a peg and socket joint at the wrist and ankles. There is a socket on the top of every head on these figures that will fit the peg that is in every hairpiece. On the bottom of the foot, there is also a socket that will fit into the included clear base, sometimes the flight stand, and some major building set blocks. Sometimes. As I said before, these figures will fit into some builder blocks and do look good in some builder block sets. Even though these figures are very different than their Lego counterparts, these figures fit in well with the Marvel Lego sets. My favorite set to display the X-Men with is the Blackbird and Sentinel set. Something about this just screams 70s X-Men. If you are leaving your buying choices up to me, I would without a doubt say that these figures are a definite get. Even if you own some figures already, these reboots are too nicely detailed and come with too many accessories to pass on. However, your buying choices are not up to me, and for that reason, I want to know what you plan to do. Let me know in the comments if you plan on adding these figures to your collection, if you plan on getting a certain pack, or if they are a pass altogether. Make sure to subscribe. I will put the subscribe button right here for now so you can use it. Hit it so you can see all the latest and greatest information from Marvel Minimates and other toys. Also, if you're up for it, hit the like button. And I have Instagram and Twitter links in the description. I hope you've enjoyed the video and got some good information out of it. Thank you for watching, and remember, be good to yourself. These uniforms are constructed from unstable molecules which adjust themselves where necessary. Does this mean they have the potential to fall apart on a mission? No, I can tell you with the utmost certainty that they will never fall apart on a mission. Potentially.